Hello, you're welcome to a new series, Business Lessons from the Bible. The Bible is not just a religious book, it's a manual for life. Basic information before leaving Earth is the most effective book we need on earth. All through this series, we'll be sharing tips and principles from the Bible that can help enhance our businesses. Stay through and you will be glad you did. Hello guys, you're welcome to another episode on our series, Business Lessons from the Bible. Today we'll be talking about customer identification. And we'll be reading John 10 from verse 25 to 27, and I'll be using the Message translation. This was Jesus saying, Jesus answered, I told you, but you don't believe. Everything I have done has been authorized by my Father, actions that speak louder than words. You don't believe because you are not my sheep. My sheep recognize my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. You know, in business, you have your sheep. You have those who has been called to gain from the product or the service you create. You need to identify them in specific terms. If you don't identify those you have been called to deal with, you will fall into that erroneous deception that my business serves everybody. Imagine somebody selling water. You ask the person, who are your target audience? You say, but everybody needs water. Yes, everybody could use your service. But when you are packaging your product and your service, there must be somebody in mind. When you don't answer this question, you build your product with nobody in mind. And the reality is that most times you practically be building a product that you like. And when you build a product that you like, forgetting that the customers you are building for are not necessarily you. So you see it. That's why for every business, there is a people you have been called to serve. You must recognize those people. None of us was called to build a business for everybody. None of us was called to serve everybody. Even Jesus. Everybody needs the salvation message. But at the point where Jesus was here, he knew that I needed to focus on those who listen and hear my voice. And I'll focus on them and allow me make the maximum impact I can within my 3-year stay. So when I'm out, they begin to reach out. That's why after him, people like the Paul came on board, who was focused on both the Jews and the Gentiles. You know, why some of them, their focus were the Jews. You understand? So your business is created to serve a particular set of people. When you are not clear as to who you are supposed to be serving, you build product practically because of who you are. You think that everybody will like it because you like it. This happens to be the bane of a lot of startup businesses. You know, I do a lot of work within the startup space, and I see a lot of them building businesses just because they have the capacity to build it, just because a few persons endorses it around their circle. But the truth is, that is not the best way to know which business to do. Action points. First, you must ask yourself the following question: whose pains affect me? There are people, for instance, personally, I get easily offended with ignorance. You know, there are things I believe that everybody should know. So when I see that people who should know don't know, it gets me feeling somehow. So it wasn't a challenge for me to know that I was called to be a teacher. Because the reason why ignorance offends me is because that is something I was created to correct. You know, understand whose pains affect you. Then whose pains connect to your solution. Because I realized that I have the flair for talking. I have the flair for speaking. You know, I speak with ease. Communication is something natural to me. So because of that, the pain of the ignorant people connect with something natural to me. I'm a speaker naturally. So working on my public speaking enhances my speaking ability, and I'm very good at convincing. I used to tell people, if there's a debate and you make me sit for, I can vouch that I will win. Turn the coin around and make me sit against, I most likely will still win. It's natural for me. It's natural for me. So you can imagine the pain of ignorance connecting with my capacity to speak. So that makes it easy for me to create products and services that can deal with ignorance. Then thirdly, develop this client's avatar. Know them in person. Who is this one client? How does he or she thinks? How old is he or she? What's the person's earning capacity? What's his willingness? What are the things they like? What are the things they don't like? All of those things you must develop them. So when you are building your product and services, you have somebody in mind. Then fourth, seek to know them deeper than surface level. Seek to know these people deeper than just the periphery. Because sometimes you say, oh, we just make clothes for women. That's vague, So you need to know this particular kind of women. What exactly is it that drives them? Why do they wear what they wear and all of that? So those are things you need to know. And these things you can't find at the surface level. Then you build with them in mind. Once you do this, you easily connect with your customer. You would have identified your customer. And that's not to say that people outside these persons cannot patronize you, but that comes once in a while. But when you are marketing, when you are building your product, you have a focus in mind, which is your identified customer. Shalom. We'll see you again tomorrow.